G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, in the colour yellow as the Rus, it's Beastie. And on the west side of the map, in the colour green, playing as the English, it's Numudan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Waterholes. Waterholes, it's one of those maps in the map pool that you just can't seem to escape from. Whether you like it or not, it will always slip through. Now, when I say waterholes, I'm not just talking about waterholes. I'm talking about ancient spires. I'm talking about oasis. I don't know. Look, I don't want to open this video with a rant, but I tell you what, I've been playing some ranked lately, and you just can't seem to miss it. I've only got 3 bans. I can only ban 3 maps. There's always that one that's going to get through, and I don't know why. It just seems like you always seem to get it. But anyway, here we are, casting a top-level game. These two players, obviously, incredibly good players. You will be familiar with Beastie from his YouTube channel, and also from just being one of the best players in the game at the moment. He's preparing for Golden League 2 at the moment, so looking to play some ladder games here, going up against Numudan, who, if you're not familiar with, I don't blame you. Numudan is a somewhat bit of a newcomer in Age of Empires 4. Hasn't really but hasn't really broken through yet on the competitive Age of Empires 4 scene, at least on the professional level. However, when it comes to laddering, he's quite a decent player. And I know Beastie said before about Numudan that if he was to put in a little bit more time and a little bit more effort, maybe a little bit more practice, he could definitely be one of the top-level players. So I'm curious to see what we have from Numudan today. But before we get any further into this game, just a quick little word from our sponsor. Of course, if you want to improve, make sure you check out Patreon. There's plenty of good stuff on there. Replay reviews, coaching, all that good stuff. But, yeah, with that being said, welcome. Welcome to this game. Nice passive opening today. Nothing too crazy going on. Both players going to be fishing. English versus Rus. This is a bit of an interesting matchup. I think this is a matchup that's very hard for the Rus to be justified going into horse archers, just simply because of how good the longbow is. So typically, the Rus player would love to play a cavalry kind of style. You know, horse archer together with the knights on the front line. They get a lot of great bonuses. Things like Boyar's Fortitude, which increases the health of their cavalry. So it affects both their horsemen, their knights, and as well as their things like their warrior scouts, but of course their horse archer is also affected. So there's a lot of nice little bonuses that you get from playing cavalry as the Rus. But let's ride on board Numudan, because he's playing the flavor of the month civilization, the English, a civilization that is considered by many to be the best civilization at the moment. But there's a part of me that thinks that maybe the we got the wiggle coming in. Wiggle. The wiggle coming in once again. I don't know why. It only seems to be with the Rus fishing ships that do that as well. They get a little bit confused. But yeah, there's a part of me that thinks that maybe Rus isn't as bad as people have been saying. A lot of people have been moving towards the Kremlin as an opening. It's been kind of rare to see the Golden Gate. I think I did see it once in a tournament game, but that was one of the 12-ville start games, so I don't know if you can really call that a reasonable game. Not a reasonable game, but it's like it's a different set of circumstances when you've got different rules on you when they drastically affect the game like that. So I'm curious whether we're going to see that out today. I suspect we probably would see the Kremlin out today. The Kremlin just makes a lot of sense, especially on water maps. The main reason why the Kremlin's really good here is because you can put the Kremlin down, let's say, like right here, and then you can go on land into a pretty heavy archer composition. It looks like Beastie might be going up towards the north side. Where do we have it? There's the Kremlin coming down right now. So going to be placing it just on the gold mine. So nice little spot he's got for it as well. I would expect that he looks to even begin taking the wood that's immediately adjacent to it. Actually, I'm just thinking out loud right now. Does the Kremlin bonus also expand to the town center, which gives that bonus to the town center, which then also jumps it to the lumber camp? I think that might be the case. We'll have to double check and see when we get in there, when he ages up. But yeah, the reason why this landmark is so good is because it gives that extra 20%. You don't have to invest 175 wood into the wooden fortress. And then so naturally, you're just going to have more wood than what your enemy is going to have. Unless you're playing up against, say, the Chinese or the Holy Roman Empire. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can just focus all of your resources onto land. Or onto the water. In addition to that, you don't ever have to really think about spears with this. We've watched a number of games where players just don't play spears. They go mass archer. They play on the defensive, maybe 2, 3 TCs sometimes. Yeah, but let's have a look and see. And it looks like it just misses the border of the town center. So not going to be extending. And we do see immediately militia are going to be called from Beastie. A couple of villagers now looking to drop down. A little bit of a tough spot here for Beastie. He's got all these vills on wood, but doesn't have the wood to drop down the lumber camp. You can see these vills here. He's trying to send them back out. And now these... Oh, a little bit of a tough start right here for Beastie. Still doesn't have the resources. Talk about a long-distance mine. He's going to have to force a hand in. There we go. Finally gets enough. Throws down the lumber camp. Gets it in as close as he can. But at the same time, we do see... What's right on board with him? Where are they? There's the militia now. First of the ships are through. It's going to be the attack ship. Fishing boat does convert over to the galley. So he's already up 2 military ships this early on. And Numadan going to be sitting here trying his best to defend. It almost feels like he's invested a little too much in fishing boats. And now going to be looking to harass the gold as well. We can see both villagers here under pressure. Town center firing off a couple of arrows. Doesn't want to lose these villagers. You can see he's down to 2 health. The militia does go down. Second one going to be looking to try and get the kill. Doesn't get it though. Meanwhile, out on the water. Demo ship going to be coming in. Numadan going to be careful. Nice little micro from Beastie, but doesn't go the way he planned. And now you can see the demo ship going to be coming up the rear with the gear. A single health remaining, and he manages to snipe it out. Well played there from Beastie. But definitely feels like Numadan with a bit more of an advantage. The numbers are favoring him greatly. And it's interesting that neither player looks to take the northern pond. Both focusing on that southern pond. That's where the attention is going to be at this early stage of the game. All right, well, we'll ride on board with Numadan for a little bit. See how he's doing. Obviously, the council hall's gone up. A little bit ballsy to be sending out this villager out to work on the gold mine, especially knowing that there are going to be militia on the way through, and we do see that second dock that we were talking about. Or rather, not second dock, third dock, but it's the second pond that is going to be potentially coming up here. Question's going to be whether this gets scouted out by Beastie. If we have a look from Beastie's perspective, he's got the scout just sitting right here, and Beastie already starting to go for the pond. So these two guys both have great minds because they are thinking alike at this stage of the game. That is for sure. Now Beastie up to 3 attack ships. Interestingly, only the 1 fishing boat. It's the consequence of going for this kind of... I wouldn't necessarily say it's an all-in style, but it's an early aggressive style coming out from Beastie on the Rus. Looking at his land adoption, everything looks pretty standard out here. No sign of stone getting picked up at this point. Just going to be focusing on expanding out to the second lake. Obviously does have this scout in position. I'm curious what happened here, because there was a villager heading up to the north looking to expand onto this pond. Did he get cold feet? And if so, it's probably not a bad idea. And you can see now Beastie going to be sending the scout up to the top. The question is, which way is it going to come back over? I mean, it's going to land right here, and it will have vision of that dock. And as soon as that dock comes in, I suspect we're probably going to see... I suspect we'll probably see militia called to the villager on it. Demo ship trading out. Losing a fair bit of health there. He's going to have to send it back to repair. Manages to do so. And now the Hulk numbers are looking pretty steady, pretty standard. Villager towards the north does get spotted out. Militia get called immediately. That's a lot of militia. Is he heading all towards this position? Look at that. He's going straight towards it and looking to siege down the dock immediately. Smart move here from Beastie. I'm curious how this is going to actually work for him. Because keep in mind that you've got the additional siege power from these guys. So 13 torch damage. But they only last for 90 seconds. And look at this demo ship coming out straight away. I think he was trying to snag that villager maybe a little bit early, whether he could do it or not. And you can see now he's just going to be able to camp this dock. And basically it says... If you want to try and get any sprinkled ship out here, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be blown up immediately. And Numadan on the south side coming through. Nice little dodge there with the first of the demo ships. Second one takes a lot of damage, though. A demo ship on the other side. Beastie with point-blank demo ships manages to sink one of Numadan's ships. And now the demo's coming in from the south side. It looks like they might actually get some decent connections. Splits them up, hits the first one. Second one lands. Beautiful from Numadan. Very well executed right there. And at the same time, up towards the north, you can see just the damage coming through from these militia. And Beastie does look to just commit that demo ship. Says, let's just get that dock out of here. Beastie secures the north pond, but at the same time looks to probably be losing the south pond. Numadan with some brilliant micro coming in. And just landing some big shots there. At the same time, attack ship number 3 going to be coming out now. Looking to try and hold this position. The villager underneath. Trying its best to repair up. Numadan going to be able to snipe it. Well played by him. Now Beastie going to be down 2 workers this game. At first I thought this was a knight. And I'm like, wow, we've got a knight in the enemy base. It was just a scout. Couple vills handed over. Beastie I guess I wouldn't necessarily call that. No, that's a mistake right there. Even the world's best do make mistakes. Loses his scout this early on, but I guess he's playing the Rus, right? Like, he's going to be able... Demo ship, double demo... No, it's... So, oh my lord, that was a 2-for-1. That's not too bad. I think he's just going to look to finish the dock off here. Probably going to be his best option, quite honestly. You can see how much he's struggling here. As soon as this dock is just ridded of, as soon as there's no more dock here, then you're fine. And I think that's where so much power of this Kremlin comes through, because you can just use those tickets to deal with the enemy. And we do have a bit of a split coming. The demo lands, and he manages to take it out with a couple of hits there on that south side. So where does Beastie go from here? You've got your answer. There, that's where he goes from here. He looks to head onto the stone outcropping. It's going to be a couple of villages just here, gathering up some resources, looking for a second town center. Numidan on the same side, or by the same time, is going to be doing just a little bit of gold gathering. Now, what's interesting here is Beastie actually sees how many vills are on the gold. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this amount of villages on the gold... What is going on with this pathing? Can we just talk about how remarkable this pathing is right here? What? Look at this vill. Watch this vill. Watch this vill. What is this villager doing? What is this villager doing? He had to fix the villager. It did laps. It did like 3 laps. Militia going to be coming in. Finally, the sheep getting killed. I think he realizes the sheep were what were causing the issue. Vills fall back towards the safety of the town center. That is a bit of a weird bug. I'm not going to say that's a game-losing bug right there, but if you don't notice that, if you don't fix it up, villager might go down. He's looking to sacrifice a single militia, doesn't actually get it. 2 health on that one as well. So 2 villagers for Numidan going down to a very low amount. You can see him keeping them underneath the town center, like any good Age of Empires 2 player would know to do. Maybe you want to make a couple farms with these bad boys, that's for sure. But a lot of vills on gold. Beastie obviously spotted this, so he knows there's a castle age going to be on the way through soon. At the same time, I suspect he's probably going to be looking to drop down a town center. No, he's just going to go for a hunting cabin. Interesting. I would have thought it would have just gone, you know what? Well, we're up here already. We might as well throw down a TC. He's got the resources for it, though. In fact, he's got a lot of resources there. He's going to go town center on the south side. A little bit of a safer TC here. So, Numidan going to be going castle age. Probably going to go for the King's Palace here. But you know what's kind of crazy? Is I actually prefer the White Tower. There's a huge part of me now that's like, the White Tower is actually legit. It is crazy how good the White Tower is. I'll switch it over for you guys so that you guys can see the resources that we've got. But yeah, the White Tower, the reason why I think the White Tower is so good is because it just gives you so much flexibility. You know, maybe your enemy's pushing on you and you think that, okay, you're fine with everything that you're doing at the moment. And then there's a mangonel all of a sudden. It's like, well, what do? I have to drop a siege workshop. I have to train a Springald, and that takes so damn long to do. But with the White Tower, it's like, well, I already have a siege workshop. In fact, I have the equivalent of 2 siege workshops, and I'm just going to click Springald, and it's going to train twice as fast as a normal Springald. So instead of taking like 60 seconds to respond to that mangonel, it's only going to take you like 15 seconds to respond to it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in your defense. But we do see overall, Numidan is going to be securing up the south pond. North pond going to be going over to Beastie. So water kind of gets relegated to the backside, or I don't know if I'd say like the backside of this game, but it becomes an afterthought in this game now, water, which is good, right? Like I to be honest, I don't really enjoy water that much. At least not at this stage. Water's a lot better than what it used to be. But, you know, it's like saying, yeah, well, it's more delicious than dirt. It's like, well, have you tried dirt? Like, it is not, that statement is almost irrelevant. Like, it's that same kind of thing. It's just, water wasn't fun then. It still doesn't feel fun now. It feels, it kind of sucks that you have to play it. I know I'm ranting. I just get annoyed being forced to play it. Like, I just want to play Dry Arabia all day. You know what? I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm curious what you guys would think if I threw out a tournament idea. You may have seen, I think it's King of the Desert in Age of Empires 2. Kings of the Desert, hosted by Memp. I would love to do something similar for Age of Empires 4. And it would just literally be, like Dry Arabia only. Boom. Just Dry Arabia only. That's all I want to see. Standard 1v1 on Dry Arabia, go. And that would be it. Like, I don't even think I'd make changes to the map script. I don't even think I'd be like, oh, like, let's just tweak it a little bit so, you know, the forests always spawn to the front, so it's a bit better for defensive civs. Like, nah, just leave it. You get a back forest spawn, bad luck. That kind of thing. But But yeah, I'd be curious what you guys would think. Would you like to see that? I mean, I could always look to reach out to Mem and see if I could get his blessing, whether I could do something like that for Age of Empires 4, or by the same token, I mean, we could just come up with our own name, you know, like the who will fight to defeat Lawrence of Arabia, something like that, or I don't know, like the I'm trying to think of you know, something what rhymes with Arabia, like savior, the savior of Arabia. Who will become the savior of Arabia? There you go. All right, we got it. We got the name. The name's all been sorted. Yeah. Would you guys be interested in seeing it? Then that way I don't have to bring you as many of these ladder games on these terrible maps. Look, I shouldn't say that they're terrible maps. The maps themselves aren't terrible. What's terrible is just the generation that you get on them. It's not the best. Let's just put it that way. All right. Couple of knights coming through. I'm curious what kind of style Numidan's going to play, because I know from my perspective, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to drop a keep in the middle, and I'm going to go spear crossbow. But Numidan, he's a different individual. I will have you know, I am not Numidan. So we think differently about this. Interestingly, yet to really begin that farm transition, and going to just be looking to take out his own deer, which is kind of wild. You don't really see a lot of English players look to take that, and it means that he doesn't have to fork out for farms in the short term. But at the same time, there's a pretty decent gather rate on those. I actually want to do the math and work out what's better. You know, I've been playing a fair bit of Pokemon lately, and there's like this concept of speed tiers, like which Pokemon are faster when they've got certain items and that sort of thing. I'd love to see like the food tiers. Like at this point, you're in Castle Age, so you've got the Castle influence. You know, you're getting horticulture. Is a horticulture Castle Age English mill better than just like an unupgraded deer? I don't know the answer to that, and I really want to know the answer. I should know the answer to that. Come on, man. You got to know that. Knights coming through, though. They're going to get spotted out here. Villagers just going to be pulled back, and Knight's going to be able to force this one out. But Beastie, playing it smart. He's not after the villagers. He's just after a little bit of a distraction. Manages to take out the safe relic. Remember that when it comes to... Oh, poor Numidan. Look at this. He did have the wall on the north side, but the villager, for whatever reason, just never... Oh, no. He's only just put those walls up. So the warrior monk will manage to escape. I think, was that the first relic Beastie picked up? I wouldn't be surprised. I know Numidan went for one in the middle. We did see that. He was carrying one back. So at this point in time, it's pretty even when it comes to this game. Like, we're obviously defaulting into a macro game. We are going to be reaching Imperial at this stage. And I think that the age-old question is, like, who is stronger in Imperial? And at the end of the day, you need to... we always need to observe the fact that, like, Beastie is a really good player. And he will beat every single other player in a late game, almost irrespective of the civilization. Like, there are going to be matchups that he has trouble with. I tell you what, man, if there's one thing that shits me off, it's that. Oh, doesn't it shit you off so much? It's like, the knights just shouldn't be through here right now, and they are, and that they shouldn't be, right? Like, that wall should have gotten up. But at the same time, like, this is the same thing that I do with China, right? Like, the reason why I put the mill on top of the Chinese town center is because the Imperial official bugs for me if I try and make it walk and shift click it. So by putting the mill on top of the town center, I just don't have to shift click. And I feel like it's like, if you know that the game bugs in this way, it's not a bug. Like it's kind of like, it's what you expected. How did this knight get behind? Has he just always been behind, has he? I guess that's the case. But if you know the game is like kind of buggy like that, you just have to be more respectful of it, because if you don't respect it, you're just going to have a really bad time. All right, knight completely cleaned up. So the integrity of Numidan's base is really solid. But yeah, I guess to my point before, like, we're going to see at this point, this game is shaping up to be a very solid macro Imperial game. Numidan, top 20 player. Beastie, top 2 player. I mean, I'd only probably put Marine Lord ahead of him at the moment. Actually, Vortex and Lucifron have been looking really solid in the most recent Golden League, but I wouldn't be tempted to put them in front of Beastie at this point. Maybe if they pull out a victory and, you know, they 5-0 Marine Lord in the grand final or something like that, then maybe you could see that. But they've been looking pretty dominant recently. But yeah, like Beastie, obviously top 2 player. So he's going to have a pretty decent advantage in the late game just because of his experience, because of his talent when it comes to the late game. He's really good in these sorts of situations. But the thing that I would say is that obviously English is one of the kings of the late game, but the Rus have got so many tools for you to take advantage of in the late game. It looks like we're going to be seeing spear crossbow combos, knight crossbow combos coming out from both of these players, which is definitely a really, really solid composition, especially when you're avoiding fights. So you can see how we're kind of like going into a macro game here. and we're not really fighting, this is a really good combination for that. Because if you go into spear crossbow, essentially what you want to be doing with that is fighting all the time. You want to be fighting because the spears are such cheap units. If you mass them up, you're basically just going to have a lot of cheap units, and you kind of get population capped, and then you're stuck with all these cheap units. Whereas knights, they're 3 times the cost. So it's really nice to have knight crossbow when you're playing these kind of macro games. But keeps starting to get thrown down across the map. Now, when it comes to Beastie's Imperial Age, I'm going to be expecting he goes into the siege landmark. The name escapes me in it, even though it shouldn't. You know, I've been focused on the other landmark. The I tell you what, I'm terrible when it comes to names recently. Knight's managing to come through though. Numadan having a little bit of trouble here. Bit of a delay on those. His own knights getting up there. Manages to keep everything in place. And I like the fact he's put the keep here behind the walls. We'll need to get this re-wall up ASAP. Want to just bring these vills out, get that wall down straight away. But keep in mind, Beastie does not have access. Does not have access to his stone walls, at least not yet. If he goes into the Spasskaya Tower, that was the name I was looking for, then he can access them. But I don't feel like stone walls are going to be so relevant, right? Like if you want to get behind someone's base on this map, you can do it, right? Like it's a little bit harder in this position, but if you want to get behind Beastie's walls, like you just drop him. And that's very easy to do. In fact, it's kind of interesting that we haven't yet seen a drop. Do we? I was going to say, do we see any transport ships in queue? None yet. Now, one of the advantages that you've got as the Rus in the late game that's really important to consider is slightly more range on your Springalds. It's also cheaper siege. Look at the mangonels. Look at the mangonels. Right now, Beastie. He's trying his best to keep them hidden. Not going to be able to find it. No RKOs today coming out. Nice try by Beastie, though, but at the same time, Beastie unaware of the mangonels. Off the top rope, Numadan goes a little bit wide. Hits the knights instead. At this level, getting somebody, like, getting Randy Orton off the top rope, it's so hard to do, right? You really have to use this forest, you know, stealth forest, that sort of thing. And interestingly, we don't see any stealth forests on this map. You know, it's kind of crazy, but High Armory, that was the landmark I was thinking of. I just couldn't find the name for it. So High Armory is going to be going down for Beastie, and this is one of the best landmarks I would say in the game, because it allows the Rus to play siege at such a lower barrier to entry. Reduces the cost of siege. I think it's 20%. Yes, 20%. Reducing the cost of, you know, your Springalds go from 250 to 250 to 200. Your mangonels are getting cheaper. Everything's getting cheaper. And of course, your battering rams. And in fact, let's talk a little bit about the battering rams, because have I got a sneaky little surprise for you. So for anybody who missed it, battering rams got a brand new buff in the most recent patch. Lightweight beams. This increases the attack speed of battering rams, and it also reduces the time that it takes for their construction on the field. In addition to that, we also have another upgrade, which is ram damage increased by 50%. Ram heals 2 health every 1 second. This is called Wandering Town. So, look, I'm putting it out there. I see a little bit of synergy here. I'm hoping, I don't know, but I'm hoping Beastie is going to be taking Numadan to the ranch. Wingard Palace getting thrown down now. Nope, it's not there. Where is it? There it is. Nice and safe in the back of the base. Good little spot for him to do it. Now, we'll ride on board with Numadan and see exactly what he gets up to. And he heads into Wingard Footman. I actually really like this decision from him. If you've got the gold and can afford to go into Wingard Footman, just do it. These guys are insane. They're actually a really good unit, and not for the reasons that you would expect. They're a really good unit because they don't actually get countered by crossbowmen at the moment. So, like most men-at-arms, they are heavy infantry. Well, heavy units. Heavy. But for whatever reason, crossbows don't counter them. And so basically, they just counter everything. And so they're like men-at-arms that are much stronger, and they don't get countered by crossbows. And it's just like this insane, crazy good unit. So my suggestion is, if you do get Imperial Age with the English and you got a little bit of gold floating, make sure you pick it up. But we do see 2 relics for Numadan in the bank. That means he's going to be looking to get up Tithe Barns. We see enclosures coming through. He's got roller shutter triggers on the way, but remember that Beastie's got to have access to banded arms, which is already picked up, which is going to give him an extra 0.5 range on his Springalds, which gives him a total of 12.5 range. Makes these the 2nd highest range Springald in the game, only second to the Mongols. Mongols still has access to a 13 range Springald. And I tell you what, I cry about it every damn night. When I'm not crying about the map pool. Oh, jeez. All right, other things to note is we could look to see mangonel upgrades coming through. Both players looking to get cannon emplacements, obviously really cheap. Only 300 stone, 75 gold. A great investment of resources, and you can see lots of cannon emplacements starting to come through on your keeps and your outposts. And once again, this keep going to be starting to get trapped down. Springwood's moving forward. Could be looking to eye them off. Tempted to take us into the cinematic mode, but with how passive these guys have been playing recently, you never know when they're actually going to commit. Elite Knights have come through. Cinematic mode going to be coming out. Beastie managing to lose one of those siege engines on the front, but we see 5. Watch the Springles. It all comes about the Springles right now. It needs to be a trade for 2 and 2. Beastie gets the first shots off, but at the same time, Numidan going to be returning fire. Beastie doing a great job, managing to actually wipe the floor right there, but the defensive little pocket that he's got here, Numidan going to be able to hold. The Spearman numbers starting to look solid. Elite Spears coming through right there. You can tell by their golden hats. And Numidan going to be able to chase away Beastie from his base. He says, get on out of here. Go on, get. Now, I think Beastie actually outnumbered Numidan when it came to the Springled numbers. Knight's going to be able to clean up all of these traps. And my lord, my mouse was doing that thing. You know, that thing that she does. And now that siege, that sacred site in the center, going to start to be threatened. Bombard's going to be coming out. And we could enter into a phase of the game that really scares me. And that's a Bombard mass from the Rus. Bombards are still really good units. The problem is they're so expensive. So, if your Bombards can have their price reduced, then all of a sudden, you're starting to feel a bit better about making them. We do see additional Bombards now coming through. Only 480 gold for each one. Remember, Beastie's got a total of 3 relics, 2 sacred sites, and I don't think we mentioned it, the high trade house, 128 gold. This is the first time we're looking at it, the first time we're smelling it, the first time we're observing it, the high trade house here for Beastie. And Bombard mass going to be building. I'd really love to see the ram coming through, but we don't see the upgrades just yet. Still has access to lightweight beams. Geometry used to affect rams. Fortunately, it doesn't anymore. Stonewall's now starting to come down from Numidan. Looking to cover the flanks. Makes a lot of sense. I'd almost be tempted. Yeah, you can see that the Bombards are moving down. Beastie's just so smart with this, right? Like, he knows that the investment that he has to put out for this is so minimal, but it's going to create so much pressure on his enemy to do this. Single horseman going to be coming down looking to defend. Beastie might have to be careful. The galleys. In fact, it's only galleys. He doesn't have to be too worried about galleys. Beastie, 200 pop. So he's maxed out. The focus is now on gold. Looking to secure gold on the map. And this is going to be the next focus. Beastie wants to try and take this gold. He's managed to take the gold on the north side. He's got it guarded up by fishing boats, which is what you always want to guard gold with. And now going to be working down the stone wall gate. And I think this is kind of what sets Beastie apart in the late game. Not kind of. This is what sets Beastie apart in the late game. It's his ability to split the map. It's his ability to say, I'm going to fight you on here, on this main front, and I'm going to direct all of your attention to it. But at the same time, I'm going to open up a new front down here, and I'm just going to be able to out APM you. And I think that's really what highlights his ability. Bill's coming through. The re-wall comes in. Beastie should just be able to one-shot one of these wall segments, but lacking the attention so far. Where are the units from Beastie right now? I mean, he's still got a handful around here. Streltsy going to be coming out. And that Bombard going to be coming through. I think it just makes more sense. Yeah. Oh, if he had shot that gate, I think it would have taken down the whole wall. But it just makes more sense. Don't even repair the stone wall. Like, the stone wall, it takes way too long to repair. It costs too many resources. And hold on a minute. We got Carracks out on the field. Looks like a little bit of spinning to win. Oh my lord, that Carrack took so much damage. That was a single shot from Beastie's Bombard, but managed to get the double attack off. Does take it out. My lord. That was a lot. I mean, but now Beastie, like, the next time Beastie comes in, he just brings the Bombard down here, builds a gate, and then just, like, walks across the edge here. You can see the power that comes with holding the water in the late game. I guess the next thing to note is that you could be looking for Castle Turret. I was going to say, what was I going to say? Turrel Castle? I think that's what I was going to say. I don't even know how those words get there, or those letters get there. So Beastie holds the center. 2 keeps should be more than enough. He says, if I make... ladies and gentlemen, have I got news for you? Beastie I didn't realize he was a fan of the showers, but it seems like it might be the case here. Let's check in with Numidan, see how he's doing. Definitely a bit more of a slow game that we've got going on here, isn't it? Like it, and I think that's the difference between it. Often you can get games that are just action everywhere, but it feels a little bit like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like two Brazilian jiu-jitsu artists go at it. I call them artists, but it's probably better to call them fighters. If you've ever seen them go for it and jostle for position, it feels that same way right now, the way these two are fighting. And Beastie knows how important this gold vein is. He needs to deny this gold vein from Numidan. Now, there's always an option for trade as well. So if Beastie can secure this corner, he can force that trade to be prevented. Ville's work coming in. He wants to drop a keep down. Not going to be given the option of doing it on the front. Instead, it's going to have to hold it out. For the moment, Outpost going to get thrown down. He respects that this keep might not be alive forever. Carrot coming in. Carrot could be in trouble. Beastie going to be able to snipe it. Oh, it's a lot of damage. It's a huge amount of damage. Carrot does fall back, realizing, oh my lord, those, you can just see the range on those Springles is huge. Springle's now going to be focusing down some fishing boats. And a couple of horsemen running through, elite horsemen. Where are the rest of the units from Numidan? He's got a single trebuchet and a spear. Numidan bringing the mangonels around slowly. Shattering projectiles going to be coming through for him. Double time on the Streltsy. Look at Beastie sitting on top of the walls. Got that extra range. 7 tiles of range now. The keep does go down. Outpost going to be able to provide that network of citadels bonus. Another keep going to be going down on the backside. And Beastie going to be pushing through here. Numidan on 193 population. Could be seeing a demo ship coming through. We enter into the cinematic mode. As BC looks to try and contest the gold. That's what this becomes, the battle of the gold. Control the gold. You're able to utilize it. Basically taking 5,000 gold off your enemy and taking it to you, giving it to yourself. Mangonels! The RKO comes in off the top rope. Beautiful stuff right there from Randy Orton. Springald's on the back, managing to try and snipe out the Springald's of Beasties. He's got the numbers on him as well. It's a 2-for-1. A single Springald now remains. Look at the micro, the way that they focus them down. And Beastie's still up 1 Springald. The heroes of the day. It's going to be those men-at-arm wannabes. These guys aren't actually men-at-arms. They're a little bit different. I can't remember exactly what their name are. Wingard Raiders? No. Wingard Rangers? No. Wingard Footmen. I never would have guessed that. I'm surprised they didn't go with the R. Trebuchet taken out. Want to be starting to push up these lines here a little bit. Springald in placement helping out. Now we see the reason why Beastie looked to put down this keep. Even though he loses his army, he doesn't lose the position. That's why the keep goes down. Trebuchet going to get pulled away. I think we've selected all units and just moved them up here. Demo ships are coming out. Beastie somehow gets a foothold on the water. I didn't even realize. I wasn't even paying attention. Demo ship getting a little bit confused. Are these all... Oh, he got like the cannon upgrade for these bad boys. I did not expect that. So cannon upgrade coming through on the attack ships. These guys do extra damage against buildings. Jeez, they take them out quickly. These aren't too bad, actually. Do they do AoE as well? And with that battle, Numidan now losing access to this gold. It's not that he lost the battle. It's that Beastie is now multitasking him in another direction. Beastie just understands what to do to draw your enemy away from that area. I mean, the keep is up here. There's no cannon in placement, so it means that the gold is completely susceptible to be taken. And we got horseman versus horseman. The front door is still open. And Beastie on the backside. Yet to prepare any rams, but take a look how many... Oh my, look at the production. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we could just do a coaching session right now on this kind of production. How much do we have right here for Beastie? 14 stables, 9 archery ranges, 5 siege workshops. This is some late game, that is for sure. Numidan's struggling to field an army. He's still sitting on 186 population. Beastie, on the other hand, he is flooding out units here. And I think this is where it kind of comes to the point where we were talking about earlier, where it's like, yeah, you might have the English, who are considered to be like the best late game civilization, or not the best, but one of the best, up against the Rus. And typically the English should beat the Rus because the Streltsy get countered by the longbow. Like that's essentially it. And the longbow defense is just always going to be a really solid, difficult to deal with play that the Rus have trouble with. But here we can see there's going to be no issue whatsoever. Beastie Slowly but steadily pushing up. A couple of bombards falling, going a little bit too far ahead. He's got these fortified palisade walls that he can look to utilize, and you can see just how much range that that bombard tower's got. Actually, is it a bombard tower? I think it's a cannon tower. It's a cannon because it's got a cannon emplacement on it. And now BC looking to break through the defensive line. Not at all. Not at all. Not looking to break through the defensive. Okay, there we go. I was wondering where he was going with that. There were 3 horsemen that came through, and then he was like, meh. Longbow or English Rangers. I can tell that they're Rangers because they've got the cool little feet on them. The cool little legs. And now into the defensive area. Protected. All of these farms are. Keep slowly but steadily putting out the hurt. We'll take the cinematic mode off. I just want to see how much Beastie is looking to divide this map. Bombard's getting caught out of position, and we are quickly heading back to the way that it used to be. I don't know if you guys remember the good old days of mass bombards. We're up to 10 bombards. Return of CGQT, baby. It is back. Oh my lord, is it back? Oh my lord, is it back? Look how many bombards we got out on the field right now. 9 bombards. There's more rolling off the blocks right now. He's got another 1 in queue. Look at the resources he's got as well. He's trying to get the wall up here. Beastie might be in trouble. He may have to retreat between 2 ferns. And Beastie going to be trying his best to keep these bombards alive. 4 underneath the keeps. Oh my lord, look at the amount of bombards he's building. And this is the thing, right? Like we talked about this earlier. The prospect of just insane amounts of bombards. Remember, they have a reduced pickup time and drop-off time. It's one of the upgrades that you get that are unique to the Rus. Oh, Beastie, do it. Oh. Oh, I tell you what. There's something that just makes me very happy to see bombards returning. I think this is the Chinese main inside of me. You guys remember the good old days with pyrotechnics, Chinese, 46 bombards? Who needs rams when you've got bombards this big? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. And Beastie now going to be capturing all sacred sites. Remember, he gained access down on that south side. A little bit earlier, the gold was down there. He slowly but steadily pushed through, took out the keep. And now, CGQT reassembles. A siege masterpiece is on the cards right here, on our hands. Let's check in with Beastie and see how he's doing. Throwing down a keep. Keep on the north side, double keep in the center. So the problem is this, right? Like, the English just want to fight in one space. I love that the Bombard came all the way through. Like, this Bombard just had a task. It's like, all right, Bombard, you're going to go kill the keep. And you're going to kill any walls that you find. And then, after you've done that, you're going to kill this farm. And that's what it did, and then it paid with its life. But the interesting thing is that the English just kind of want to fight up the middle, right? Like, they just want to keep... They want to have a keep here. They want to have outposts. And they just want to be pushing up the middle. And Numidan's had that as an option for him. But Beastie's just found a way to say, actually, I'm not going to let you do it. I'm just going to force you so that you're not going to be able to play that game. Constantly finding angles. New routes to be running. And Beastie yet to push through on the front with these bombards. He's up to 10 bombards. It looks like he's happy just chilling out on this bombard number. Court Architect's going to be coming through. Has he picked up all the upgrades? He has. He's picked up all of the upgrades here. So he's got the health. That's what I was looking for. He's got siege works. Just being super annoying with these horsemen. Here go the bombards. Looking to tee off towards the enemy infantry. Oh, Beastie. You got to be so careful right there. You can see just how hard he's holding on. The Mangonel's going to be able to turn around. Bombard's going to be looking to turn around as well. Murder on the dance floor, and the dance floor right now is where that keeper's just gone down. Bombard's going to be looking to hold the position. The Mangonel's also going to be helping out the Bombards. Keep in mind, they're able to fire at point blank towards these units as long as they've got those units to back them up. And off the top rope, Beastie throws down a couple more attacks. But the Bombards together with the Mangonels. I mean, how do you even deal with this combination? The answer's Springlords. The Trebs can also do it, but the problem is that you've got way too many way too many units here. The Trebs are never going to be able to actually make a shot on the Bombards. And look at the Bombards as they line up here. This could be it for Numidan. 3 sacred sites ticking in favor of Beastie. and just a huge amount of Bombards slowly but steadily coming in. A couple of horsemen trying to make their way to the backside. Streltsy going to rip them absolutely apart here. And Beastie continues to push forward. Double Mangonel. He doesn't even care about the horsemen at this point. He's got to be careful on the south side, though. There's a bit of a potential push that could come through. He's got the Rangers. Rangers going to start pushing up. Springald's looking to try and take out the Trebs. Managed to actually knock one out. But the Bombards. Beastie's Bombards. Look at him go toe-to-toe with Nimadon right now, using only Bombards. He doesn't even care. He's like a honey badger. And slowly but steadily, these Bombards are going to be going down. Ville's going to get pulled. And Beastie running for dear life. He's managed to trap a Bombard. I don't know how he's trapped it like that. There we go. Village is able to secure the kill on that one, but he falls back towards that keep. Remember, he's got the keep. The Bombard in placement, always going to be there to help out with a little bit of AoE damage. And still, 6 of the Bombards do survive. Horseman now going to begin pushing through. Remember, he's always going to be looking to run lines or run routes through. And just surrounds all these Rangers, these English Rangers. We're looking to come to the party, but it seems like Beastie has cancelled that party. Beastie just in an incredibly solid position here despite this matchup, and good game gets called!